Hi friends, I hope you are doing well today. Today my topic is understanding of the divine feminine energy. I would like to share with you some of my understandings of how I perceive the divine feminine energy and what I have learned about it. Okay? So the divine feminine energy is an aspect of creation. In our universe, we have the divine masculine and the divine feminine, also known as Shiva and Shakti. So the divine feminine energy, she is independent of any religion, independent of any person. It is just an energy and it can manifest itself and does manifest itself within a person. For example, we see the goddess Parvati. She embodied the divine feminine energy in all her different aspects. So when she did sadhana for many hundreds of years, she embodied different aspects of the feminine energy and she had to perfect it, she had to master it. So if you take a look at the Indian mythology and the religion, you will find different aspects of the feminine energy that is embodied by all these goddesses that we have. So the feminine energy symbolizes and is the energy of creativity, expansion, intuition, insight, empathy, love, beauty, and inclusion. It is unity consciousness. The people who are holding the feminine energies, mostly they are like they are more connected to the unity energies, and whereas somebody who is more dominant in their masculine energy, they function more from the separate consciousness, or the mind that compartmentalizes things, organizes things, which is the masculine, but they are more into their ego and seeing things separately. So what we want ideally is a balance of both these two energies. That is what we are looking towards. So the divine feminine is a principle of creation. That is how I would like to describe it. It is an aspect of creation. Shakti is the energy and Shiva is the consciousness that manages the energy. So if you look at the various traits of the feminine energy, first of all we see a lot of creativity in somebody who's holding the divine feminine energy. And at this point I would like to talk about, so far I've spoken about the divine feminine energy as an energy in itself, but now I would like to speak about the feminine energy regarding the twin flame part, as in the divine feminine counterpart within the pair. So it applies to both in understanding the energy in itself as well as the divine feminine who embodies this energy on the twin flame part. So we see that the feminine energy is the divine feminine. She is very creative. She is an aspect of the goddess, because most of the twin flames are ascended masters and they are incarnating here on the planet. So they're carrying the aspects of the goddess, the divine feminine energy in the pair. And this doesn't mean that they are perfect right now, because part of the twin flame journey is to take on the shadow feminine, to clear it throughout the years and then come into the embodiment of the goddess energies. And this is a process which continues. So she is very creative by nature. She's an embodiment of beauty, of sensuality. The divine feminine is a warrior spirit. She appears very delicate on the outside, but actually she's emotionally and mentally very strong. The thing is that they prioritize harmony and balance in any situation, and that is the reason many times they appear soft or they appear indifferent and very docile. But in reality, they have very strong opinions and they are essentially warrior spirits. But another aspect of the divine feminine is that vulnerability. She is vulnerable because since she's carrying the feminine energy, which is a very strong aura field of love and light, so such a huge amount of light, what it does is it attracts the negative entities first. So whenever she goes out anywhere, the negative entities around, who are within people and around people, they get attracted to this energy very fast, because it is light energy and it radiates, and that is the purpose of the feminine, to hold the high energies and to radiate it on this planet at this time, because we need more and more people to awaken to these energies and to embody the divine feminine energy. For this thing, we have to do a clearing process. We have to clear the shadow feminine aspects within ourselves and keep embodying more and more of the divine feminine goddess energies. So there are many instances when she is attacked. There are psychic attacks on her, and this is just because she has still not mastered her masculine aspects, and she is in the process, and the proportion of feminine energy that she holds is higher than the proportion of the masculine energy that she is in the process of integrating. So she draws a lot of negative energies towards her that just want to feed off the light, you know. But she's strong and she knows how to handle it, because after all, she's a manifestation of the goddess, of the divine feminine essence, and they have incarnated on the planet at this time to help in the ascension process. One more aspect of the divine feminine is that she has high standards in her relationships. She is not manipulated into loving anybody. She is not manipulated or threatened into respecting anybody. The divine feminine senses the distorted masculine and she pulls herself away from it, because that is not what she is used to. She is here to help the feminine collective understand the difference between a healthy masculine energy and unhealthy masculine energy, and the same thing with the feminine energies. So the feminine goes through many such instances in her life where she has a lot of interactions with the distorted masculine, people that are holding the distorted masculine energies. So that is how she understands, grows in her understanding, and helps other women to overcome the power drain that the distorted masculine does to women. The divine feminine is very intuitive. She can read the energy field. It is very difficult to lie to her. Most of the divine feminines are empaths. The divine feminine, whenever she enters any space, she has a very strong presence about herself. She's not the attention-seeking type who will talk loudly in a group to get attention. But even if she just walks silently, she will automatically, her presence will be felt, because it's difficult to ignore. She's like a huge light in a room full of darkness. Because that is what she is. She embodies the really high amounts of light. And especially after meeting her twin flame, when she gets activated, she holds high amounts of light, and it's a process where she starts understanding how to ground it and how to protect her energy field. So what happens is, when such a high frequency comes on the planet, even without speaking, sometimes people are triggered. People are triggered just because of the energy field. The high frequencies, what they do is they bring up the stuff that is suppressed inside. So the people tend to attack her thinking that it is her fault, instead of dealing with the stuff that they have to deal with. So this is a process of projection that occurs in many social situations where she might find herself. There is a belief among the feminine collective on the planet that the feminine energy is somehow weak, or it feels shameful to be a woman, it feels less to be a woman. These are all ideas that are created and perpetuated by the patriarchal structures. And unconsciously, women hold on to these beliefs. This is a really self-harming belief to hold and see femininity like this. So they feel unworthy, they feel shameful, they feel less about being a woman. So as a result of having such feelings, what happens is a lot of women tend to completely disconnect from their feminine aspects. And it can happen due to certain relationships in which the femininity is not seen and not valued. It could be within family dynamics, within friends, at the workplace. So a rejection of the feminine aspects takes place within the person, the divine feminine, the woman, whoever's carrying this. And all this happens because we are not present to what is happening. We are not fully aware of all the different aspects of ourselves. Because right now the education is increasing, but in earlier times there was very little education and awareness on such things. So if you are not aware about such things, when you lose certain aspects of yourself, like say for example, somebody judges you for being caring or loving or mothering. If this aspect of yourself is judged, sometimes automatically you tend to deny it and suppress it. Adding to this is the fact that you are not aware of what the divine feminine energies are and how you're supposed to embody all of them. So the knowledge part plays a very important role. When you have the knowledge, you know that you have to work with this aspect and integrate it. You know that you must not reject it. But when you lack the knowledge, rejection of such aspects happen unconsciously. Another thing to note is presence. So whenever we encounter a traumatic situation in our day, we tend to ignore the situation, we tend to forget about it, what somebody said or how it affected us. But it's a really good practice to take out time in your week to review your week, to review all the things that happen, especially the things that have an emotional impact on you or a mental impact on you, because you have to keep all of aspects of yourself in balance. You have to maintain a state of mental, emotional and psychological health if you are going to perform well and if you're going to be in an overall state of health. So this practice of reviewing your week or your day is very important. Further on, what happens is when we are carrying such aspects that are rejected within ourselves, we tend to project that pain onto others, especially when we see a woman who's carrying the divine feminine. And if we have rejected those aspects within ourselves, we tend to project jealousy on that person, or we tend to project our pain, what we went through, onto that person, because we have not come into a loving relationship with that aspect. We have not integrated that aspect. We have not come into balance with that aspect. So a lot of women, they reject their feminine aspects, and at the same time, another thing they tend to do is they use their femininity to manipulate. This is a way of getting power. This is a way of taking revenge because of unhealed wounds again. And same thing happens with the masculine. The masculine rejects the feminine aspects within himself and then tends to project these wounds onto other women. They hold rejection of the feminine aspects within themselves at an unconscious level, and this polarizes their energy field. This distorts their energy field. And a distorted, polarized energy field is what controls the thinking at the end of the day. So their mindset towards women becomes very negative because they have rejected the feminine aspects within themselves. So the solution to this issue is that we should not reject the feminine aspects within ourselves. First of all, it's very important to know yourself, all your strengths, all your weaknesses, all your different aspects that you carry of your divine feminine energy. And instead of rejecting these aspects, we are supposed to see the value in it. So this happens when you balance the masculine aspects. So if you are going to hold the divine feminine, uphold the divine feminine, you have to balance the divine masculine aspects within yourself. So that is very important. When your masculine energy is balanced, you tend to attract less situations where you feel like, the feminine is not valued. And even when you attract such people, you know whose stuff it is, that you know that is not your stuff, it is somebody else's stuff that they are projecting onto you. And the second part of the solution is, we feel that a feminine energy is not valued because we live in a world that is polarized. We live in a world that is too patriarchal. So this kind of system tends to devalue feminine energy, tends to, make women feel like they are not valuable for who they are and what they are. So the solution is integrating your own masculine aspects and making sure that the environment that you put yourself into is more balanced rather than a polarized environment. Choosing your friends, choosing your community, the people that you mix with in such a way that they have a good understanding of both these aspects, both these energies. And the world also needs to come to a place of balance. The wounded masculine has to heal, the wounded feminine has to heal. And when the world is at a balanced place, that is when the feminine energy will be truly acknowledged for what it is. But this can never happen in a state of polarity where you're having a rejection of the masculine. In order to have value for your feminine energy, you have to integrate and accept all your masculine aspects and balance them. When you think about creating something, birthing a project into the world, birthing a relationship, you require a good balance of both the energies. It depends on the project, what you are doing, but it requires both the energies. So both the energies are valuable and both the energies are valid. Within relationships, we find another pattern that when people are having such wounds, the woman is having a rejection of the masculine or the male is having a rejection of the feminine. So people try to take each other's power away. They try to strip the other person of their power. This happens because they feel insecure with the opposite energy. They feel weak compared to the opposite energy. The male feels weak and powerless in comparison with the feminine. The feminine feels powerless in comparison of the masculine. So then we have all this power imbalance that occurs in relationships. But when you lose yourself, when you lose your alignment to your soul, when you give up your identity in order to have certain relationships, the first thing that happens is you lose your magnetism, you lose your attraction. And when you lose yourself, you can never find real relationships because the relationship you are in is empty after all. The person you are relating with a person who is not relating with a fake identity. The other person in the relationship is relating with a fake image, a fake identity, not the real you. And losing your real self is a very painful thing because it is disconnection from your soul, it is disconnection from your purpose. And we never tend to attract the right relationships when you do something like that. So, even though the divine feminine tends to attract energy vampires, she also knows her boundaries well. She knows when it is the right time to pull away or to retaliate. Because after all, she is also a manifestation of the Durga. She has all these energies latent inside her. And when she meets her twin flame and when she is activated to a true starseed nature, over a process of time, all these energies, they become manifest inside her. Another pattern I would like to talk about right now is the shadow feminine. So even though she incarnates in 3D, the incarnation in 3D causes her to split. And this generates a lot of polarity inside her. So she's carrying the shadow feminine template within herself. Now, what does this mean? Shadow feminine template means we have a lot of patterns from the collective, from the ancestry that we are needing to heal. And that is the purpose of twin flames, whether it's a divine masculine or divine feminine, that is what they are doing. They are healing all these karmic patterns, and that is the cause of their incarnation. That is the value they bring to this incarnation and to this lifetime. Because it is one thing to incarnate at one place where you're not having all these patterns, and a completely different thing when you incarnate in a 3D carrying all this heavy karma within you. Well, it's like the first half of your life is spent just clearing the karma, and then you are at point zero. At that point, you begin, you know. So, think about the value that twin flames provide in clearing all this karma. I mean, it's so difficult to take up this task, to sacrifice the first half of your life clearing karma that is not yours at all. So many times the divine feminine, they are not loved in their relationships. They are not given the emotional needs that they need. They are not given the mental support that they need. Now this is chosen on a higher self level. This is purposely chosen because we have to experience the life of a normal human being and what all that they go through. And these wounds, which are the shadow feminine wounds, which form the shadow feminine karmic patterns, the lack of love, the lack of connection, the rejection. So these are the very things that motivate them to bring new solutions into 3D, to heal the relationship templates. This is what makes them study all these things and then later on teach and heal other people. Because their own wounds and their own healing process is what helps them to bring the solutions and is what helps them to share it with the community. And that is another way how they raise the level of consciousness. So this is a very important theme that they carry, the theme of healing the shadow feminine within themselves. It is a journey of experiencing both the dark as well as the light, and also of teaching others and sharing with others how to do so. The divine feminine are very talented. They have a very loving aura, a very loving energy field. And they are vulnerable and at the same time they are strong. Now I would like to mention some qualities of the feminine energy in general. So they can be their love, connection, openness, innocence, creativity, patience, beauty, a deep understanding, the quality of nurturing and inclusiveness, creating a community, nurturing relationships, transparency. These are some of the qualities of the feminine energy. So it's important for us to get in touch with both our aspects. And this thing takes time, this process takes time, so be patient with yourself. Because when we have undergone some traumas or some negative experiences, be it in this life or be it in some other life, these experiences create belief systems within us which are at an unconscious level. We have not examined those belief systems because we are too busy trying to survive. We have not taken time to delve into our subconscious mind, into our unconscious mind. We have not taken time to meditate. We have not taken time to question. So this is how the healing takes place of the feminine energy. When we spend time with ourselves, when we question our belief systems, we contemplate on our experiences, we heal the distortions, the experiences created within us. We balance our masculine and feminine energies. And that is how we integrate different aspects of the feminine and hold the embodiment of the feminine energies. At this time on the planet, the feminine energies are in much need because there is a lot of imbalance in the energies. So the feminine energy has to rise in her power and the masculine energy has to heal their wounded masculine aspects, wounded masculine karmic patterns. So both things are happening at the same time. It is not about one dominating the other or one being superior than the other, holding more power than the other. It's about a healing process which happens to both simultaneously. When the feminine heals by integrating her power, that is when the masculine also balances his feminine energies. Because what I feel is we have distorted feminine and masculines in our life is because we give our power away. We don't honor our boundaries. We don't honor the masculine energy inside us, and this is what makes us the cause of such men. We create such children, we create such life partners, we create such work environment when we don't respect the masculine energy within ourselves, we don't value our femininity. So it is our responsibility as women to create a healthy man in our society by balancing our own energies, by coming into empowerment ourselves and a place of clarity of what is balance. Because love is balance. It is not excess of masculine energy, and it's not an excess of feminine energy. That is polarity. And in a polarized environment, we are never going to have harmony. So I hope you liked what I had to say today on the divine feminine energy. And this is my artwork. This is a painting of a lotus. It is an acrylic, and if you would like to purchase it, you can contact me. I'll put the link below to my Facebook page and my Instagram page. It is a symbol of the divine feminine. So if you'd like to purchase it, you can text me, you can message me. Alright? So I hope everybody has a nice day. Think about it and work with your feminine energies, heal your wounds, come into a good balance within yourselves. Alright? So thank you for now. See you later.